everybody, it's Amy. I am the founder of the Mother All Baby Showers, and this is Sarah, who you're going to learn a lot more about in the next few minutes. This is actually, for both of us, our first time doing a Facebook Live. So we are both excited and nervous, and it was really about time, especially for the Mother All Baby Showers. But I really think that when you hear a little bit more about Sarah and her daughter Stella's story, it's going to make you want to run over to your computer, to your phone, to whatever you can reach. It doesn't require you shutting off this broadcast, and want to buy a shirt because all of the proceeds are actually going to support Sarah's amazing daughter, Stella, who's 2 years old. So just brief background. I am the founder of the Mother All Baby Showers. I created it 6 years ago, and really the intention behind it was to create this really inclusive event that's all about pregnancy and parenting, where you can come learn about products and get educated and have food and drinks and get spa treatments and truthfully just really take a night out for yourself, whether you're expecting or you just had a baby or you have a child who's going into preschool. We sort of go all the way through that preschool age. So there's so much you can learn, and it's a really, really fun time. And one of the aspects of our event, which we're really proud of, is that we partner with some kind of a cause, and we really try to make it a local cause in every market where we produce the Mother All Baby Showers, or some of you think of it as MOABS. And for this particular event, we have decided to support Super Stella Kate. And Super Stella Kate is an amazing 2-year-old. Thanks for those who just joined us. We're just talking a little bit about the Mother All Baby Showers, and I'm telling a little bit about Super Stella Kate, who is an amazing 2-year-old living in Orlando, who unfortunately just a few months ago was diagnosed with a unique form of leukemia, which requires extensive treatments, which, as you would imagine, are extremely expensive. And I wanted to bring Sarah onto the broadcast because all of the shirt sales from this event, whether you buy them before the event, after the event, during the event, are actually going to support Stella's family's medical expenses, which are exorbitant. So this is Sarah. As I said at the beginning, Sarah is living in Orlando with her son and her daughter. And I wanted to just ask you a few questions, Sarah. Could you tell us a little bit about what Stella's like? What kind of a 2-year-old is she?
She is very spunky and energetic. She loves to dance, loves playing at her little play gym. She's just full of life and loves just being wild.
And I actually had a chance to meet her earlier when we were testing this Facebook Live out, and she is even cuter than I saw in the pictures and has such a great personality and communicates so well and is really, really full of life, and much like most 2-year-olds that you meet. But obviously what Stella's going through is very different than the average 2-year-old. So can you tell the people who are watching a little bit more about sort of the story? How did you know Stella was sick? How did it go from sort of a cough to something more significant? Can you talk a little about that?
Yeah, absolutely. So Stella was having a bad cough at night for a few nights. So I took her to the pediatrician's office. They said that it was croup and sent me home. And a couple of nights later, she still had the bad cough. So I called and was like, hey, croup's only supposed to last a few days. And they said, oh, it's fine. Just give her Benadryl and it should be gone soon. So 2 days later, I called again, made another appointment, and brought her in. And I brought a recording of her cough.
Wow.
And I was like, look, I know you're saying it's croup, it's just a lingering cough, but it doesn't sound right to me. And I played the tape of her cough, and the pediatrician immediately reached for Stella's lymph nodes in the front and felt them, and they were extremely swollen. And that was actually what was causing the cough. So she said, I don't want to make you concerned, but there's some scary things out there that I want to eliminate.
Right.
Possibilities for this, one of them being leukemia. And I'd like you to go get some blood work done and chest x-rays. And we'll take a look at them and give you a call later.
Right.
So the results for the blood work didn't come back the same day. So I had to wait overnight for this. And then they called me the next day. The nurse called me and said, hey, we're going to refer you to an oncologist. So then I had to, So then I had to make an appointment with an oncologist, brought her in at Arnold Palmer in Orlando. and they checked her out, said she looked great, but that they wanted to run some blood work just to see what was going on, and that odds are it was probably just her body reacting to a virus. And the results came back and showed that she did have leukemia.
Wow. And what goes through your mind as a parent when you hear those words, that something so serious, that something that, you know, seemingly was just a very common kind of cough that children get at this age, to now something really, really serious? What went through your mind?
Oh, it just didn't seem real. I mean, you saw Stella. She's so full of life. And,
yes,
you know, you think of a kid with cancer, a kid with leukemia as a kid that, you know, that looks sick, that
right.
acts sick.
And she doesn't look at all sick, doesn't act, no.
Not at all. And you don't think, you know, this would ever be my child. This will ever be my life. And so we're adjusting to that. She was diagnosed February 17th, I believe. So she's, they wanted to admit her that day.
And start treating her.
But when she was diagnosed, my husband was at the airport about to fly home from Canada from a work trip.
Okay.
And he was on the speakerphone and convinced the oncologist to let us bring her in the next day around noon instead, so that he got an opportunity to see her in the morning before we brought her in. Because they wanted to start treatment immediately. So
what does treatment mean at this stage? What kind of things do you have to do? When we're talking about these medical expenses, what kind of treatments are these?
She started off getting a port installed, which is a little device that is under her skin in her chest, to allow them to easily access it, to draw blood and to give chemotherapy directly into the veins, directly into the heart. And right now, it started off with the first phase of treatment was called induction, and she had 28 days of oral steroids on top of weekly chemotherapy in her port. And now we're in a phase called induction, where tomorrow we're going to go do blood work to see if her counts are high enough to do chemo Wednesday. If so, we'll be at the hospital all day Wednesday getting chemo. And then she has oral chemo at home every night. And then Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we'll have nurses come to the house to inject chemo. And this phase lasts another few weeks. And at the end of this phase, they're going to do another bone marrow aspiration to check to see if she has any of the disease still remaining in her bone marrow. If at the end of the induction phase, they wanted to find her to be in remission, they wanted to find nothing. And she still had 0.34%, which placed her in the very high risk category, which is a very high risk of relapse, which is where we didn't want to be. So now we're going to find out at the end of this phase if she still has, it's called MRD, minimum residual disease. If she still has that disease remaining in her bone marrow, then that could mean that we're on track for a bone marrow transplant. So,
but we're going to think positively, and we're going to hope for the best.
Yes.
And hope it's the best case scenario.
And the chemotherapy, Stella's body is reacting with fevers. And because she has a port and because her immune system's suppressed, anytime she has a fever, we have to take her to the emergency room, and then they admit her for at least 24 hours, which is obviously expensive. So,
right. And you know, for those who are watching, whether it's live or later, Sarah and I often communicate. I have a newborn, for those who don't know, who was born April 6th, and we're going through something very different, but one thing we have in common is that we don't sleep, period. So we communicate a lot, you know, really late at night. And it's amazing, obviously, the things moms get accomplished in sort of crisis mode. But, you know, you seem like such a strong person. Like you're just sort of taking it in stride, and you got it all under control. And you obviously have done your research, and you know a lot about sort of what the next steps could be or should be, or, you know, what sort of like the risks are with everything. What kind of a toll has it really taken on the family, you know?
Oh, it's hard. It's really hard, especially because she has a big brother, Landon, who's 5.5, who for the first month, he pretty much lived at his Nana's house.
Wow.
He had so much going on. We were in the hospital for 10 days straight at one point, and Stella's immune system suppressed, and he's in school. He's in pre-K, so we have to be careful that he's not bringing home germs.
Of course.
So hard. Different types of the chemotherapy Stella's been on have given her insomnia. The steroids made her cause problems with her sleeping, so that's been stressful. This entire thing has completely, rocked our whole world. So.
Mm-hmm. And financially, what have they told you about what these treatments might cost? I mean, certainly insurance, thank God you have insurance and it covers some piece of these things, but what are you sort of looking at big picture? What have they said?
We don't know. So initially we were expecting that we have our maximum out of pocket.
Right.
Okay. Well, then we found out that you have maximum in-network out of pocket and maximum out-of-network out of pocket, and then plus the prescriptions, and then different types of the chemotherapy may or may not be covered under insurance. So we still aren't real sure what we're looking at. We know that I'm not going to be able to work for at least another year, depending on how she responds, her immune system responds.
Right.
Possibly the full 2.5 years she's in chemo.
Wow.
So that's going to be hard. But we really don't know. The insurance rep that talked to my husband said it could be, it could be $30,000 a year. They really don't have any kind of real estimate for us because it all depends on, each individual thing that's billed.
Right.
Different doctors, different specialists might be out of network. Even though the hospital's in network, we're receiving bills for specialists there that are out of network. So
on top of everything else, you now have to educate yourself on how insurance works and expenses work. And if you go to the GoFundMe page, which is gofundme.com/support Stella and the number 1, then you'll see that if they're estimating that it's about $30,000 a year for treatment and it's going to be several years, they're already into the first year and it's likely going to take longer than that it could be upwards of $100,000. Most families don't even make $100,000 a year. So you can imagine the burden that this has caused this family who, work so hard and now on top of the emotional toll that it takes financially, it's incredibly, incredibly difficult. So Sarah, you sharing this, I think, really helps everyone to understand what this money is really going towards. And I want to reiterate that 100% of the $10 shirt that we sell, and I'm going to show you the shirt. I'm not going to model it on myself because I just had a baby a month ago. So I'm not really ready to show all of this just yet. But it is our classic Keep Calm and Mama On shirt. And the shirt has we actually have a new logo. This is our older logo, but we have shirts with our new logo and our older logo, the Mother While Baby Showers. They're $10. 100% of the proceeds of these shirts goes directly to support Stella's medical expenses, which you now know are exorbitant. And in addition to that, you will also get a free ticket to our Orlando event, which is this Friday, May 5th. 5:30 p.m. for VIPs, 6 p.m. for general attendees. Your ticket will be a free general ticket, or if you want to upgrade to VIP, just use the following code, Super Stella Kate. That's Super Stella Kate. Just go to the motherwhilebabyshowers.com, click on Orlando from the top, and you'll be able to go to registration. You will be able to pick whatever kind of ticket you want. You go either get $15 off VIP or a free general ticket. And if you already purchased a ticket, you can actually buy a shirt at the event from Sarah or one of her incredibly supportive friends who will be volunteering to work their table and sell the shirts. If you buy a ticket before the event, then you can actually pick it up at the table and we will have it under your name and you can pick out whatever size you want. If you don't live locally and you want to buy a shirt, we will figure out a way to ship it to you and take care of that. We want to make sure that we try to raise as much money for this family as possible. And one of the ways I'm going to do that is we work with a lot of event partners, as Sarah knows, because I've shared a lot about the event over the last few weeks. And one of our best event partners is Diono, who is phenomenal when it comes to car seats. They are top of the line, the safest out there. They are also stylish. They are, in my opinion, the best bang for your buck because they are very thin, so they fit really nicely into your car if you have more than one child. And they are actually going to give us a giveaway. And what I'm going to do is we're going to randomly draw someone. Whoever buys a shirt, we're going to randomly draw from the stack of names, hopefully, who will buy shirts, and they can pick it up at the event. We're going to give away a Diono accessory bundle to one lucky winner, which is worth $50. It includes a travel pal, a stow and go, a buggy buddy, a baguette, a buggy hook, and a red Diono drawstring bag. So it's all great stuff for your car and for your car seat and for your stroller. And it's a no-brainer because you're going to get entered for free if you buy a shirt. So I want to encourage you to do that. I just want to repeat one more time. You can buy the shirt by going to gofundme.com/support Stella and the number 1. And you can buy a ticket to the event for VIP for $15 off, or you can get a general ticket if you go to www.themotherofallbabyshowers.com, click on Orlando and registration. And Sarah and I both hope we'll see you there, and we hope you'll support this cause. And we hope, Sarah, that Stella gets better soon. We're praying for you. We're thinking of you guys, and we're wishing you all the best.
Thank you.
And with that, we will sign off from our first live broadcast, and we'll hope to see you on Friday night. Thank you.